Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of UA Eats. I'm UA, and yeah, I'm back in New York now. I'm back from Canada, and I had some great steakhouses while I was in Canada, but now I'm really craving a steak now that I'm back in New York for sure. And New York being a true mecca of steaks. And when I was eating at Jacobs & Company in Toronto, I saw that Jacobs & Company was one of the top 101 steakhouses. And yeah, scrolling that ranking, I was expecting to see quite a few New York names there. So, you know, top 5, of course, there's Cote Steakhouse, a Korean steakhouse, which I'm definitely planning to review sometime on this channel. But, you know, scrolling this, I'm like, aha, you know, for sure we're gonna see some other New York staples on this list, such as Keen's and Gallaghers and whatnot. But I was surprised to see that Keen's, Gallaghers, they were further down the list. And at the top of the list, one place was American Cut, which is on my list, and we definitely gotta check it out sometime as well. But another place that was high up on the list was Beefbar. And wow, I mean, above all the iconic places that I reviewed on this channel, you know I gotta try it. So I looked into Beefbar a bit, and Beefbar is from Monaco. They started out there, and now they have locations all over the world. I mean, in all sorts of really high-end cities, you name it. London, Paris, Hong Kong, and now finally, earlier this year, New York City, and specifically the New York location is what is like top 20 or so on this top 101 steakhouses in the world list, not any of their other locations around the world. So, you know, they didn't open too long, so maybe they're still at the peak of their quality. So let's check them out, why don't we? And gonna try to figure out how to enter this place. It looks like this entrance is closed off, but please enter through the lounge. So I think we can find it. Oh, look, the pointer is like a porterhouse steak. It's kind of cool. All right, guys, so we are inside Beefbar. There's not many people in here. They said they're not super busy, so they gave me a pretty good seat, basically like a booth, which I think is usually reserved for larger tables, but it's really nice inside this restaurant. And gonna keep my voice down because there's not many people in here and my voice is kind of carrying, so hopefully this will be loud enough. But it looks really nice on the inside. I don't know, kind of like this sort of almost gives me like sort of like a zebra feeling, like the patterns on the chairs and everything, like something you would see like Mugatu wear in like Zoolander or something. But you know, I don't know much about fashion, so I'm sure it's super trendy and fashionable. I just don't really know much about that world. Yeah, I mean, this place seems like a really big name, really high-end steakhouse in many fancy cities around the world. I guess here in New York, I know this is the middle of the week during lunch, but that being said, maybe this place still needs to kind of vamp up a little bit. Like, word might still need to get out about this place. Although, interestingly, the New York location is the one that's the most highly reviewed, at least on that site. Let me show you the menu real quick. So I see this isn't just a beef bar. They're specifically branding this as like the New York beef bar. So let's take a look. Ooh, New York Hearts Steak. I'm guessing that's what that means, particularly porterhouse or T-bone in this case. All right, so this is their lunch menu, and I'm pretty sure this is probably smaller than their dinner menu. It looks like it's relatively recent that they've been open for lunch, but not super large. And yeah. You guys know how I feel about that. You know, I like when restaurants don't have too big menus. Even diners, I feel like if the menu's too big, it makes you question how good everything could be, how fresh everything could be. Yeah, they have some interesting items here. They got some, oops, sorry, there's some ice being poured nearby, so apologies if you kind of hear it. Not much I can do about that at the bar. But I hear good things about these beef quesadillas. These are Wagyu quesadillas, and this is an app that I'm definitely gonna try because I hear these are highly recommended. But then they also have like Bao's, what is this, KFC? Okay, let's take a look. Kobe beef tallow fried, oh wow. Kobe beef tallow fried chicken with Sichuan pepper sauce. So we'll go with the quesadillas just because I hear they're highly recommended, but maybe we can try other stuff on a future visit. They call this just leaf. I guess these are salads. Yeah, these are just a bunch of salads, it looks like. They have lots of interesting things, crispy rice, even pastrami, a hamachi pastrami, so like a fish pastrami, I guess, crab tacos, all sorts of interesting things. There seems to be a ton of Asian influence here, or just worldly influence in general. Like this is a French dip sandwich, Wagyu bolognese. Yeah, they got like food from all over the world here, so it's like you're really getting like a international, worldly experience. This here is their lunch menu, but I took a brief look at it earlier, and while this lunch menu, first of all, it's not even super cheap, it's 65 bucks, but you get 3 courses, you get a salad and a steak frites, or cauliflower steak, or whatever you want to get, but I feel like the steak frites won't be the best item we can get here. My understanding is that steak frites is not so much like American steakhouses, where the meat is not so much aged. It's more an emphasis on like the fresh meat, but I feel like, you know, at least here in the USNA, I feel like when I go to a steakhouse, I really am paying to eat that aged flavor. Like that's the real skill that I'm paying for, which is what makes it so expensive. That burnt cheesecake or the carrot cake, I love both of those, sound delicious, but let's just pan over here to the steak section. And here from Creekstone Farms, USA, they got a bavette steak. Bavette, I'm pretty sure that's more or less, I'm pretty sure that's like flat iron steak or flank steak. But yeah, that's like a popular cut in Europe, I believe. But otherwise, at least for lunch, they just have New York strip or ribeye. And yeah, pretty big portion, 18 and 20 ounces. Definitely are paying for it. I think their porterhouse is well recommended, but I don't know if they, it doesn't seem like they have the porterhouse on the menu, at least for lunchtime, but it's okay. They have New York strip, which is half of the porterhouse, so we should be getting the best part anyways. And then they got American Wagyu from a name I'm seeing everywhere, Snake River Farms. Snake River Farms in Idaho, supplying many of the best restaurants on earth. Anywhere from 3 Michelin star per se here in New York to that Steakhouse Jacobs and Company we ate at in Canada. So yeah, I'm sure these are great. Ooh, look at 255 bones. So yeah, maybe next time, maybe when the channel's a little bit bigger. But then they got cauliflower steak, mashed potatoes, no cream spinach, a whole sauces section. Hopefully we don't need any of these. Hopefully the meat will stand on its own. French fries, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So I might ask the server for a tip. Ribeye sounds good too, but maybe we'll do New York strip just because I hear good things about the porterhouse, and that's half of a porterhouse. So game day decision. And then of course, we're gonna do one of the quesadillas, or as Napoleon Dynamite's grandma called it, a quesadilla. So anyways, let's order.
Any questions so far?
Yeah, I think I'm ready to order.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll do New York strip.
When in New York.
Yeah, sure, right? Also, I hear the porterhouse is good, so that's like half of the porterhouse,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, so.
If you wanted the filet mignon, you get the other half here, but it depends on if you want like a leaner cut as well.
Sounds good.
How would you like that cooked?
Medium rare.
Medium rare? Perfect.
And
Any sauces or sides to go with that?
no thanks. And I also hear the quesadillas are good.
Those are actually my favorite thing on the menu.
Okay.
So Wagyu with the Oaxaca, and then what we do with it is we have a salted beef that we shave over it, so it's a lot of, packs a lot of punch.
Yeah.
And they're relatively small, so it won't ruin your appetite.
I think that's why I decided to get the strip, because I feel like that's going to be very fatty.
Yeah,
so I
well.
I don't want it to be too much.
So the quesadillas, and you'd like that out first?
Yes, that would be great.
Anything else here?
That'll be it.
Wonderful. So we're doing the quesadillas and then the New York strip medium rare.
Yes.
Any allergies or dietary restrictions?
Shellfish.
Just shellfish?
I'll probably be okay, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'll put a note on there anyway. There is no shellfish on our lunch menu, but I'll discuss it with the chef. All right?
Sounds good.
Take this out of the way for you.
Thank you. Oh, quick question. So is this like a bar seating area, and that's like the main dining room?
So we're open over there for dinner,
okay,
and also for brunch as well.
Okay.
Which we just started, I think, 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
But this is our lunch area and also our lounge at night.
Okay,
Yeah,
sounds good.
Live music and sometimes the DJ over here as well.
Sounds good. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, I think I saw another room there, and that room looked pretty nice. So hopefully we'll be able to sneak over and get some footage of the dining room. But it looks like this is the main lunch area, because it does kind of look sort of bar-like. But yeah, maybe we'll be able to get some footage quickly of the dining room later, waiting for our quesadillas. All right, guys, so we have our first item here, the Wagyu quesadillas, and They're pretty tiny. Let me show you. The server said that they're quite small, and yeah, I mean, they might even be smaller than I was expecting. I mean, these are teeny tiny. I mean, not even quesadillas. I think these are barely tacos. In fact, that angle's even making them look bigger than they are. Let me show you. Here, let me, there we go. See, look at the plant. They're very, very tiny. They're like tacos and like those frozen tacos you get at like, you know, Costco or something. I guess what you're paying for is you're paying for the, you know, you're paying for the Wagyu inside. I guess the Wagyu is probably not cheap. Hopefully it's that Snake River Wagyu stuff. And they come with some chimichurri sauce as well. The sauce is looking good. The tortillas look nicely grilled. I mean, they look really well prepared and they're made with Oaxaca cheese and everything. So as long as they taste good, I mean, 28 bucks. So pretty much like 30 bucks. So for 3 of these, it's like 10 bucks. It's like 10 bucks like a quesadilla, like a little mini taco. So, but let's see if it's worth it. I will say they smell heavenly. They smell so amazingly beefy and fatty. Like you definitely smell that Wagyu beef. The plate is like a little happy Lady Liberty. So cheers, guys. Whoa. Well, that is unbelievably delicious. I just gotta say, I almost, I almost don't want to eat this too quickly. I almost want to savor it. Smaller bites. Oh man. Holy smokes. I love quesadillas, I love tacos, I love Mexican food in general. I don't know how authentic this is, but it's up there with the best like quesadillas, tacos I've had. Holy smokes, they were just, the flavor of the beef is just incredible. I mean, the reason why I ordered a New York strip and not a ribeye was because I saw that these were Wagyu quesadillas. I thought that they were gonna be really fatty and I wanted to balance out the meat a little bit, you know? But they're not too fatty, like they're fatty, but like controlled, like it's like controlled madness, so to say. And everything inside it is just like perfectly balanced. Like the cheese complements the Wagyu. The Wagyu's not too fatty. It's got amazing flavor, both fattiness and like beefiness. The tortilla tastes good too. Like these are definitely being made in-house. I mean, I would hope so, you know, for what I paid. Grilled perfectly. And there's like just a perfect amount of like oil. Like some greasiness, oiliness is good. But it's like you see the perfect amount of oil drip. It's not too clean, not too healthy, so to say, but it's like slightly indulgent, but not like too greasy and oily and gonna give you like heartburn. This thing is incredible. Oh my goodness. Let's try it with the chimichurri sauce, although it's good enough just on its own. Let's give this a try. It's very good.
One of my favorites.
Delicious, wow. You know, the chimichurri sauce is good. Like the chimichurri sauce, ooh, look, it's even served in like a little pot for mice or something. But that chimichurri sauce is great. Like it tastes really fresh. You know, it's really well balanced, not too acidic or anything. But even though it's a great chimichurri sauce, I feel like it kind of like covers up the amazing Wagyu beef here. Like you really don't need it. I mean, you don't want it to cover up the Wagyu beef you're eating. It just tastes so good that I wonder if this is that Snake River Farm Wagyu that was on the menu. Even if it's not, I don't care. It just tastes delicious. I'm just gonna, you know, eat these without any sauce because great beef doesn't need any sauce to cover it up. Wow, that is incredible. Like I might even, I mean, they were 28 bucks, so it should be reasonable, right? Like, can I come here sometimes just to eat this? I guess it's not cheap. I better eat them slowly to make it worth my while. Online reviews, staff here, everyone has been saying that this is like a highlight, so I'm almost afraid that everything's gonna be downhill from here. I mean, they're that good. If I could have predicted the future, I almost would have wanted the steak first and then this last, because I tend to like to save the best for last, but it's okay. Delicious. I mean, don't judge things by their size. Let's just put it that way. Thank you. Excellent, thank you.
This is the beef bar sauce. Yeah,
Thank you. What kind of sauce is this?
beef bar sauce.
Beef bar sauce.
Special sauce for the house.
Oh, beef bar sauce. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
So what that is it's a truffle relaise sauce. So it's an herb butter sauce. I believe they use a little bit of orange for the citrus in there.
Okay.
Enjoy that.
Thank you. All right, beef bar sauce. So this is their namesake sauce. So, you know, I'm usually of the opinion that good steak does not necessarily need sauce. Ideally, you want to eat it on its own, but she said there's like truffle and citrus in that. That sounds excellent. So we're gonna try that for sure. And oh baby, look at this steak. Look at this incredible sear they got across this whole steak. It's almost like, you know, they just, you know, used like wizard magic powers and commanded the steak be evenly seared. Holy smokes, it's like a 3D printed perfectly seared steak or something. Seriously, just look at how perfect this steak looks. You know, they sliced it for me. I was wondering if I was gonna have to do the slicing myself, which I tend to like, but you know, when they played it like this, looks amazing. It almost looks like a fish or something, right? Like the way it's sliced. And it looks well seasoned, finishing salt on top. Looks like that's their approach, as opposed to like cooking that salt, pre-salting it and cooking that seasoning into the steak. Although I presume that it looks like they have a ton of black pepper across this baby too. So let's check the doneness. I'd hate to break apart this amazing design layout they have here, but you need to check the middle to check the doneness. Yeah, medium rare. That looks perfect. Wow. Not easy to do on any steak. And let's see if the sear is on the bottom as well. Okay, not so much, but they got grill marks, probably infusing some of that smoky flavor into the steak. Let's just eat this middle piece, why don't we? Since we've, you know, since we already nudged it out of place. Weapon of choice, plus 20 slicing, stabbing damage. Slice off a piece of this. I'm still marveling at how beautifully this is cooked. And I have a feeling that this is gonna be delicious. Just look at all that seared goodness all across. Bon appetit. Very, very, very good. Although I slightly regret not getting the ribeye since it is a little fatty. I feel like I would have liked a little bit more, like a little bit more fatty flavor, but the flavor of the beef is incredible. Like, it's a little leaner than I was expecting, but the beefy flavor is incredible. It is just so tender, this piece of beef. Just look at it. It's so tender. You really didn't need too much effort to cut into it. The flavor of the beef is great. The sear is wonderful. Like, it's got that like crispy texture to counteract that soft interior. There's a lot to like about this steak, although I feel like it's a little bit undersalted. I feel like the salt could be a little bit higher on this. So let me ask for some more salt real quick. Hi, can I get some salt?
Of course, I'll be right back.
Thank you. While we wait for the salt, guess we'll try another bite. Or let's try this bite with the with that truffle bar sauce that they gave us. All right, so this is their namesake sauce. So let's pour a little bit. Actually, I thought it was gonna be thicker than that. It poured a little bit more easily than I expected. Let's see if the sauce helps to make up for any of the lack of seasoning. All right.
Here you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The sauce is very good. Like, the sauce definitely has that truffle flavor, but it's more subtle. Like, it's not like a in your face, you know, it's not like a in your face truffle flavor. Like, you know, sometimes you eat like truffle sauces and then it's like, boom, whoa, it's like a smack to your face, like all that truffle flavor. But in this case, like, it is more subtle, like because of what they said it was. I think I was surprised at just how like flowy it was. So it looks like the truffle flavor is a little bit watered down with other ingredients, as well as with citrus and things like that. It tastes good. As much as I like the flavor of truffle and things like that, I still stand by my typical opinion. I don't think that the steak really needs it. I think that good beef should stand on its own, and if you want to use sauce, more power to you, but I feel like you're really paying for that delicious aged flavor and the quality of the beef. So you don't want the, in my opinion at least, I don't think I need the sauce to cover up the premium meat. But the very nice lady though, she brought me some finishing salt. So let's add a little bit more salt. See if that helps. Because I have a feeling that's what this guy is really missing, just a little bit of salt. The salt definitely helps a little bit. Like it definitely helps to lift the flavor of the beef. Before the aged flavor was not super strong, the salt definitely helps to bring it out. Salt being, you know, like a typical amplifier of like savory flavors, cuts back on like bitterness and things like that. Although if I can be honest, even with the salt, I think I might have overdid it on the salt in that last little bit of salt that I dipped in. While this is beautifully cooked, I will say though, I think the salt, it definitely helped to lift the steak a little bit more, but not as much as I was hoping. Like the aged flavor could still stand to be stronger, I think. It's still a good steak, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's incredibly tender. The sear is incredible. I mean, the steak just looks beautiful. Like just the way they present it, it just looks beautiful. Like if what you mostly prioritize is tenderness, you will love this guy. But I kind of want that aged flavor to be a little bit stronger, so I think it's a little bit lacking here, but perhaps the ribeye would have been better due to it being fattier. The salt helps for sure. We're gonna eat more of this. Maybe let's try one of the desserts before we call it a review. So let me take a look at the dessert menu. Hi, can I see a dessert menu?
Dessert menu?
Thank you.
Nope. Actually, we don't have a dessert menu for lunch, but I can tell you what's on it.
Oh, sure.
Only two things.
Sure.
So it's going to be a cheesecake, so it's a pretty substantial piece. And what makes ours different is that we use white chocolate in the cream cheese frosting, so really, really nice. And then it also comes with some coconut flakes and a coconut ice cream to go with it. They pair really well together. The other one is going to be a small slice of cheesecake. So it's very different from your regular New York style. We do it kind of creme brulee style, except for it's a mango, passion fruit, and yuzu on top. And then it's a macadamia and coconut crust on top.
Oh, so they're both cheesecakes.
No, sorry. I don't know if I said cheesecake the first time, but
Yeah.
it's the carrot cake.
Carrot
Is the
cake,
first one.
okay,
Sorry,
okay.
that probably makes a difference.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so carrot cake with the white chocolate cream cheese, the coconut ice cream, and the coconut flakes. And then the cheesecake is going to be the mango passion fruit and yuzu with the coconut macadamia crust.
Okay. Let me try that carrot cake. You sold me on that carrot cake.
No
Yeah,
problem.
so. All right. I feel like we eat a lot of cheesecakes on this channel. Carrot cake with white chocolate in the frosting, I don't think I've ever seen that before, so let's try it. Thank you. All right, this is the last item we are gonna review. Carrot cake with coconut ice cream. Looks kinda nice, right? Let's eat quick because I don't want the ice cream to melt. Let's take a bite of this. It's not bad. The frosting is nice. I feel like I kind of have mixed feelings about the cake part itself. The frosting is really interesting because it does kind of have like a similar flavor profile as as typical cream cheese frosting, but it's not really cream cheesy. You definitely taste that white chocolate, and I like it. I think more carrot cakes should be made with. Sorry, I'm kind of having brain fog after the dessert and so much of the food. But I feel like more of the cream cheese should be made with white chocolate going forward for carrot cake. It definitely pairs really nicely. The cake itself, it's crumbly in some parts. It's kind of dry in some parts. I think it could stand to be a little bit more moist. I think you like for these carrot cakes to be really moist. But in this case, the flavor of it is pretty good though. Like you definitely taste the carrot flavor, within it. Like you taste real pieces of carrot. In fact, that might be a piece of carrot right there. And the spices they're using in this definitely taste good. Like the flavor's good. I just wish that it was a little bit more moist, a little bit less dry. But everything else other than the lack of moisture is pretty decent. Let's try a bite of the ice cream. Guess let's use the spoon for the ice cream. The coconut ice cream is kind of interesting. Like it's not as creamy as I was expecting. It almost sort of tastes like sorbet in a way. It's got a really strong coconut flavor, and I presume those are coconut flakes at the bottom, which are further amplifying its coconut flavor. So let's take another bite of the ice cream, like so. I really dig the ice cream. The ice cream's really nice. Maybe eating them together. Okay. Okay, that definitely helps. The ice cream is awesome, and when you combine it with the carrot cake, it kind of offsets the dryness and mostly brings out everything else that's great. Cream cheese frosting, or sorry, white chocolate frosting, the fresh carrot flavor, the spices and the sugar and things like that in it. It's great. So this is fantastic when eaten together. Let's at least finish the ice cream before it melts, and we'll share final thoughts outside. All right, guys, so I just finished eating at Beefbar, and yeah, for the most part, I had a pretty good meal. Although the steak itself, I felt like the steak was good. I mean, don't get the wrong idea. The steak was definitely a good steak, but I wouldn't say that it was among my favorites, particularly in New York. Like, I felt like there were other places I liked more, and particularly places that were below Beefbar on that top 101 steakhouses in the world list. I felt like they were probably all better, you know, like your Keen's and your Gallaghers and even Minetta Tavern. You know, it just kind of shows that you know, what people like in a restaurant, what people like in a steak. You know, taste is just generally subjective. A worldwide ranking, they're not necessarily going to be using like the American palate and American standards. But overall, I still really liked Beefbar. Most specifically, I thought that those quesadillas were incredible. I mean, wow, those quesadillas were just out of this world, and they were expensive, but I highly recommend if you ever eat at Beefbar, you gotta eat those quesadillas. They were not cheap for how small they are, but share them. I mean, if you have 3 people, just eat 1 each. It's definitely worth it. They were that good. And actually, you know what? After my review, the manager of the restaurant, the staff of the restaurant, they actually let me walk up and take a look at the kitchen, and I got to see one of those quesadillas being made by the chef, so that was really cool. But anyways, this is just my opinion, of course. I know lots of people like Beefbar, including, you know, including some fancy pants people making rankings. So if you've been to Beefbar, let me know what you think. Let me know if you think Beefbar lives up to the hype. Let me know in the comments for sure, because great minds eat alike. And as always, if you like my content, like and subscribe. That way you stay up to date whenever I post another video. It's always a great day when I get to eat steak, especially steak for lunch. And I didn't finish that New York strip, but I'm definitely gonna take whatever I did not finish home, and I got a delicious lunch or dinner on another day. So until next time, I'll see you later.